Hey guys, what's up? It's munclesonkey and welcome to my updated 1 to 99 summoning guide. So if you're looking on how to get towards that pack yak, or just how to get towards the next stage of the summoning that you really need to get to, or even just how to get yourself some charms, you have come to the right place. However, before we actually get into the guide, I must say I will not be going over what pouches to make in this guide, but I do have a video that's specifically just for telling you guys what pouches to make. So if that's what you're stuck on, go ahead and click on the link on the screen right now, and the link will also be in the description if you are on mobile and cannot access it. But that will tell you all the right pouches to make, but the rest of this guide will be focusing on all the rest of summoning. So before we get into how to actually collect your charms, there are some helpful items that can be of great use if you are going for summoning training. First of all is the Shaman's outfit. Unfortunately, the only way to get this is off of Treasure Hunter, but if you were lucky enough or are lucky enough to get any pieces of the Shaman's clothing, they give bonus summoning XP, so make sure to keep them equipped while you are making pouches. Second of all is Spirit Gems. You can get these from monster drops or by mining gem rocks in the Elf City, and Spirit Gems are useful because they can save you charms, any type of charm when you use them. As Sapphire saves 10 charms and it has a 10% chance, but overall 10 charms. Emerald saves 20 and Ruby saves 30, so on and so forth. They're especially handy when making those blue charms because the blue charms give the most XP and they're the hardest ones to get. Also, there is a Charming Imp which will pick up as many charms as you want for you. All you have to have is it either equipped or in your inventory. This one costs 100k Dungeoneering tokens, so you will need at least 73 Dungeoneering to pick yourself up one, because that's what level you need for that amount of tokens. So it will require some DG, but this one is definitely worth it. Not having to pick up charms is just one of the most handy things ever, and make sure to get that one as soon as you possibly can. So if you are a low level just starting out in the game and you have very low stats and you find it difficult to kill many of the monsters that are better charms in this game, and you still want to train summoning, the best place for you to go is to kill the gelatinous abominations. They only require level 1 Slayer, so you can kill them just starting out. You do have to buy spiked gauntlets from a Slayer Master to kill them though, and then after they are at 0 HP, you have to left click them and pull out their heart, which is a little bit morbid, but that's how you kill these things. So they have around a 40% drop rate for gold charms, which is really good for such a low level monster. So if you are trying to start out summoning and you're also trying to start out a new account or are very new to this game, this is definitely the best place to get them, just to get your first few gold charms to just get you started. Another thing to do that's really handy when you first start out summoning is to complete the Wolf Wessel quest. This is just a novice quest and does not take very long to complete, but this one will get you started with 275 gold charms and enough summoning XP to get up to level 4, and that is a huge boost when you just start out. That won't get you enough gold charms to move on to your next type of charm, but that will help out a lot when you first start the game, so I'd really recommend to get that quest done as well. So if you are a mid to high level and you're just now starting out your summoning training, or you're still a very low level in summoning for some reason, what you want to do to get your first gold charms to get started and get up to the level where you can start making crimson charm pouches is by killing giant rock crabs in the chaos tunnels. So you just go to Edgeville by the GE entrance and run straight north. Make sure to bring some gear that is magic style but not too expensive. Batwing would be a good option, as well would War Priest, and your weapon and just a few runes. Not too many, because of course you will be traversing into the wilderness, and you can kill these giant rock crabs. You can kill them really quickly, and they drop 3 charms at a time. Really high drop rate of golds, and of course you can get some crimsons and even blues and greens here, and every time you do get a drop of charms, it's 3, and look how fast you kill them. They only have 3k hit points, so even if you're not the highest magic level, you can take these things out very quickly. Of course you can't start these on a brand new account, which is why you have to go with gelatinous abominations, but these are a lot better than gelatinous abominations. As you can see, the charms are just coming very quickly, and it won't take hardly any time at all to get up to around 45-50-ish, and then you can move on to better monsters and start farming crimson charms. So if you are going for 99 summoning and you don't have 99 Slayer yet, and you do plan on getting 99 Slayers sometime in the future, by far the best way of getting charms is just to do Slayer. No, it is not the absolute fastest method of getting them, but it's much more efficient to do both of them at the same time. So if you do need charms and you also need Slayer XP, there you go, there is your answer. However, getting 99 Slayer will not get you enough charms for 99 summoning, so some other methods of charm gathering must be done, and I'll go on to some of those. Or if you just stubbornly really don't want to do Slayer but still want a pack yak, I will show you some methods of gathering charms without having to do any Slayer tasks whatsoever. So if you are looking to get yourself some crimson charms, because crimson charms are quite easy to obtain and pretty good summoning XP, and also fairly cheap to use considering how easy they are to obtain and how much XP they give per a charm, one of the best ways to do that is by killing water fiends. And yes, almost everyone knows about water fiends, but they are not overrated. They are well known for a reason. They are one of the best charm gathering monsters in the entire game. They have a 79% drop rate of crimsons, which is just ridiculous, especially because you can kill them quite quickly. So what you want to do is grab your best range gear, and there's two locations where you can head to. You can either head to the Ancient Cavern, which is where the majority of people kill them, and therefore it can get really crowded at peak times. And you can also kill them in the Chaos Tunnels, which I'm showing off here. The easiest way to get to the Chaos Tunnels is using either a Horde Stalker ring, which you can get from Sinkholes, or a Mask of Dust, which you can get from Treasure Hunter, to teleport to the Chaos Tunnels. The Horde Stalker ring can teleport you to the Black Demon Resource Dungeon, which I passed on the way here, and then you just want to kill the Water Fiends here. They're much less crowded than in the Ancient Cavern, which is the main reason why I like killing them here, although there's no real huge kill speed advantages between the two places. And as long as you're killing them on a pretty decent rate, you should get at least 200 or so crimsons an hour, which is really nice if you're a lower range level, and even more than that if you are a higher range level with access to level 90 range weapons and can kill them very quickly. But this is one of the best places to camp, and it's also ridiculous range XP along with the crimsons. If you have at least 81 Slayer and you want to make a pretty good money rate along with gathering your charms, and you don't mind the charms being a little bit slower to gather, one thing that you can kill for crimsons is Gladi, and these are located in the Ascension Monastery dungeon. Again, 81 Slayer to kill these, so a fairly high requirement compared to the Water Fiends, which really don't have any requirement other than the fact that you need a few range levels to kill them. These are also not as good range XP as Water Fiends, but they do have a very similar crimson rate. Unfortunately, you get less crimsons an hour because the Gladi take longer per kill than the Water Fiends do, but you'll also be making a lot of money to make up for that. These have a pretty high drop rate of Ascension Keystones. You'll get about 1 in every 64 kills, which range anywhere between 250 to 600k at current prices, and those prices change a lot, but the 76% drop rate of crimsons really makes up for the fact that these aren't as good range XP, as you'll be getting a lot of crimsons an hour, as well as about 2 to 3 mil profit an hour, because these things drop a lot of rune items and noted bars and magic logs and stuff like that as well. So if you do have a spring cleaner, this is a very good place to use it. It pretty much requires you to not have to bank at all, because it will dismantle almost all of the rune items they drop and deposit rune ore and stuff in your bank. If you are willing to put a little bit of money towards getting your Crimson Charms, but you also will be rewarded with some very good range XP as well as an amazing charm rate, and you also kind of get to AFK this method a bit as well, you can cannon Dagonoths in the Waterbirth Island dungeon. So this one is a little bit trickier than the previous methods, because for this one it's really handy to have Soul Split as well as a Bone Crusher and Demon Horn Necklace, so that does require at least level 92 prayer with some quests done. If you don't have those, you can still do this and just bring a War Tortoise or yak full of food and an inventory full of food, and you'll have to bank every once in a while, but it is extremely easy if you have access to the Soul Split and those dungeoneering rewards, because you can do this without ever banking, other than when you run out of cannonballs or runes or when your weapons degrade. So you just want to go down to Waterbirth Island dungeon, bring a cannon with you, and go down into the very middle just before you reach the gates for the Dagonoth Kings, and you want to set up your cannon there. There's a couple things that you can do for your actual own combat other than the cannon. You can be on Ancients if you would like and use the multi-target spells to hit the Dagonoths, or what I prefer to do, since it's a little bit cheaper and you don't have to spend money on runes, is you can put Chain as your very first magic ability and Dragon Breath as your second magic ability. You'll use these a lot, and they multi-target Dagonoths and hit pretty hard. They hit a lot harder than the Ancients, but the unfortunate thing is these things have a cooldown, so you can't use them constantly. Yes, the Ancients are slightly faster kills, but there's not really that big of a difference, especially because your cannon is going to be doing a majority of the damage against the Dagonoths anyway. So of course, since all the Dagonoths are melee creatures, they'll come over to you, your cannon will drag them towards you, and then your Dragon Breath and Chain and also the cannonballs will take them out. These only have a 26% drop rate of crimsons, but you kill them so fast that it's actually very good crimsons an hour, and it's quite AFK, especially if you have your Dwarf Cannon upgraded at the Artisan's Workshop, which means it can hold more cannonballs. Again, this is one of the best crimson rates in the game, and really the best crimsons that you're going to be getting until you get yourself a Steel Titan, where killing Water Fiends becomes faster. but until 99 summoning, this is the best way to get crimsons, although it is expensive. So if you are an avid quester and you would like to kill some higher level monsters for some good GP and XP rewards, as well as some great charms, one way you can do this is by killing either the Glacors or the Tormented demons. I have guides for both of those, and if you follow the methods in the guides shown, you can get over 100 blue charms at both of these creatures, which is ridiculous because blue charms can be a little bit hard to come by, and 100 blue charms is quite a bit. So I'll have a Glacors as well as a Tormented demons link guide on the screen as well as in the description. If you already have access to these and you don't know how to get a large amount of charms per hour, or you just aren't fully sure on how to kill either of those two monsters, both of those guides go pretty in depth with how the killing works, and you should be able to get lots and lots of charms an hour, and hopefully some money as well if you get lucky. These are personally my favorite ways to gain charms because I'm not really too much into the camping, but it's not for everyone, of course, as well, because there are a lot of quests required to get these. So there are currently 2 summoning distraction diversions in the game that can really help you out with gaining charms over the long run if you're trying to save up some of those charms and you need a bit of a boost. So the first of these distractions and diversions is Bork. Now you can kill Bork every single day. It resets at midnight British time, the same time that most things in the game reset, and every single time you kill him you will get a whole bunch of blues, crimson charms, and gems. How many you get will depend on a few factors. If you have completed the quest The Mighty Fall, which is a master quest, you will get additional rewards from Bork. If you have completed the Varrock Elite Diaries, you will get more charms from Bork, and also wearing a Ring of Wealth will give you more charms from Bork. All of these add up to a maximum of 20 blue charms and 23 crimson charms a day, scaling down if you have not met all of those requirements, but it's still a really easy way to gain crimson and blue charms because it only takes like 2 minutes to kill them. Just follow the route that I'm going through the Chaos Tunnels. Even if you're a low level, it's quite easy. Just make sure you bring some sharks and prayer potions and all that, and you should be able to take him out really easily because he does not put up too much of a fight. Before you can kill this guy, however, you do have to complete the Hunt for Surok mini quest, and I cannot unfortunately show how to do that because I've already done it on both of my accounts, but it doesn't take too long. Basically, after you complete the What Lies Below quest, that guy that you have to fight in the quest is running around the Chaos Tunnels, and you just have to follow him, and at the very end he will summon Bork and you will have to kill Bork. And from then on, every single day you can go and kill this guy in the Chaos Tunnels for some extra charms and gems. So I did mention that there are 2 summoning distraction diversions in the game, and this is completely true. The second one is called Familiarisation, and this one is debatably a lot more rewarding than Bork, although Bork does have its place in the world. And this one will get you, when you are completed it with all the full rewards, you can get 40 minutes of tripled charm drops, which is really nice because that can add up to a lot of crimson charms if you're killing water fiends or whatever you happen to be killing. So I do have a complete guide on familiarization that will go a lot more in depth than what I can show in this video. So if you are really curious on how this minigame works, you really want to get all those extra crimson charms or whatever you go for again, make sure to check out that guide, and that will do a much better job of explaining it. But basically what you want to do is you want to find pick and mix, and you can do that by going to, well, hopping around worlds until you find a world that has familiarization active, and then talking to Pick Up Sticks. He will tell you a riddle. Again, if you want to know how to know the answers to those riddles that he'll give you, that will be in the familiarization guide. But then you run around the little world that Pick and Mix sends you into, collect these shards, and after a while of doing that, you will teleport out once you've collected all 60 of them within the time limit, and you can talk to him again, and you can get your reward of 40 minutes of triple charms. Remember, you can go gear up for whatever you plan on killing, and then go back to either Pick and Mix or Pick Up Sticks and collect your reward later. That is very helpful, so you don't have to do it right away. So now that you have all your charms, and you've either checked out my guide or the Runescape wiki to know what pouches that you're going to make, or heck, you could even use your own judgment to know what pouches you want to make. It's completely up to you. You now need to actually make your pouches. So there's 3 ways of doing that. First of all, you can use the Taverley shop running method, which is just running between Taverley Bank and the shop in Taverley, and then either loadstoning or running back. It's about the same amount of time, so it doesn't really matter that much. This is what most people will do when they're low level summoning, and unfortunately there's really not that many better ways to do summoning when you are low level, but you won't have to do it for very long, because at 52 summoning you can use the Spirit Kiat summoning familiar, which you can buy off the GE. They're pretty expensive, about 20k a pouch, but it's definitely worth it, because this one teleports you directly to a summoning obelisk, and then you can use either a Ring of Dueling or a Takozo, or really any sort of teleportation method you wish to bank, teleport back to the obelisk really fast, and this is a lot faster than using that running between the shop method, which just takes a while and is frankly quite annoying. Also, if you are a player to which money is no object and you just want the fastest possible way to make yourself those pouches, what you can do is note all of your summoning secondary ingredients. For example, I am making pack yaks, so for me, I need to have some yak hides in my inventory, and then you go to Taverly shop, you sell those yak hides to the shop, the noted yak hides that you have in your inventory, and then you make yourself the pouches. Then you go into the shop again and you sell all of the pouches back to the shop guy, and then you buy more yak hides, and you just continue doing this. Unfortunately, this is pretty expensive because you're not getting very much return on your pouches. If you were making them the normal way, you can either sell the pouches on the GE or trade them in for shards yourself, and you'll get a much better return. However, unfortunately, doing it this way, you lose quite a bit of money. So this is really only for the people that want the fastest XP possible and don't care too much about the cost. But this really is like twice as fast as doing the obelisk running with the Kiat pouch. So if you're really concerned about the best XP and you want to get these over with as fast as possible, this is the way to go. So that's about all for this video. I do apologize it was so long. There is just a lot to pack into this one. Hopefully it helped. If you have any more questions about summoning, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and either me or hopefully some sort of nice person will decide to answer your question. And also, don't forget to leave in the comments if you would like to see another 1 to 99 guide remade, because I have been working on remaking some of the out-of-date ones, so just leave in the comments which one you would like to see next. This summoning guide was obviously remade from a summoning guide that was quite outdated and desperately needed it, and I hope this one can be a lot more helpful to you guys. But that's about all for this video, so I'll see you tomorrow with the next one, and farewell.